Hello and welcome back. Now during the last video we explored how to write a formal letter politely in English. This video is a follow-on from that because we're going to be learning how to write a polite email. Now when we write an email it can actually be a lot less formal than a letter, but we can still be polite. So what are the situations that you might find yourself in where you need to write a polite email? Well, perhaps you're at work and you need to make a request. Perhaps you need to make a complaint about something. Perhaps you would like to make a suggestion to somebody. Perhaps you want to point out somebody's mistake. Or perhaps you want to check for an update on something. So whatever it is, this lesson will help you to write your email politely in English. So here is my suggested format for your polite email. You want to start with some sort of polite greeting. Now we talked in the last video about being really formal and saying things like dear or dear sir and madam or dear sir or dear Mr. and then their name or dear Mrs. and then their name. Because this is an email, we can be a little bit less formal but still be polite. So we might use dear again, or we might say good morning and then the person's name, or good afternoon and then the person's name. If we don't know the person's name, we might say to whom it may concern. The next thing we want to do is, if it's appropriate, we want to thank our reader. So let's say we are writing in response to an email we've received or in response to a conversation we've had. We might say, thank you for your email. Or we could say, many thanks for your time today. The more we can thank the reader, the more polite our email is going to come across to them. Once we've given our thanks, we need to get to the main point of the email. So is it to make a request? Is it to make a complaint? Is it to make an apology? No matter what the main point of your email is, these are some sentence starters that will help you to get your point across nice and politely in your email. So if you were making a request, you might say, I am writing to request. So for example, I am writing to request some extra time for my homework. You might say, please let me know if you could. For example, please let me know if you could extend the deadline for my assignment. Or you might say, could you possibly? So for example, could you possibly extend the deadline for me? Those are all examples of how you can start off your polite requests. Now perhaps you're making a complaint. You could start with, I regret to say that. I regret to say that my assignment is going to be late. You might say, I would like to receive a refund for this faulty product. So those are ways how you can make a complaint in quite a positive and polite manner. Polite apologies. Please accept my apologies for. Please accept my apologies for being late today. Please let me know what I can do. Please let me know what I can do to resolve this situation. I will ensure this does not happen again. That's a great way to finish off your email by explaining that you've apologised and it's not going to happen again. Now we talked in the last video about having a complimentary close. Now your complimentary close in an email will be really similar, but again, because it's an email, you can be slightly less formal but still be polite. So you might close your email with regards and then your name. Or you might close your email with kind regards, which is a bit softer, and then your name. Or even best regards and then your name. There are some other alternatives like best wishes or even best. But these are the ways that I suggest you close your email. Now during the examples that we have spoken about, I have been using some words and some expressions that have been examples of polite English. We talked a little bit during the last lesson about modal verbs and how to use them to be polite. So as a recap, our polite modals are words like might and could and would. For example, please let me know if you could extend the deadline. We can also use something called distancing phrases. Now the distancing phrases tend to be in the past tense. And here are some examples. I was wondering if you could extend the deadline. I wanted to ask if you could give me some more time for my assignment. I was hoping for a little bit of extra time to get the research done. So those are some examples of how you can sound a little bit less direct. The more indirect we are with our language, the politer we are going to sound. So this is a really good one for when writing an email. We could also use some tentative language, and again it's quite indirect. It's almost presenting the reader with a little bit of uncertainty, and this is going to come across very polite and not too direct. Along the lines of, I'm not sure if you could extend this deadline for me. Or I don't know if you could give me a little bit more time for this assignment. So here are some examples of what you could include in a polite email. So thank you very much for watching my video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.